Crowne, on deck!
Crowne, we've come to a parting of the ways.
This sounds like you're firing me. They said it's because I didn't go to college.
Get you some knowledge and you'll be fireproof.
You're never too old to learn.
Can you get this hunk of junk working? How fast does it go?
Larry, it's got power!
Didn't see you in the scooter pit last term. You an ex-cop?
Why would you think that?
Tucking in a polo shirt makes you look like one.
I'm talking about good old Larry Crowne.
Crowne?
What is it? Is it the 24 or 12 color set?
Yeah, I thought it was talking about my uncle who was Larry Crowne and Coke.
Well, he might as well be because Larry Crowne. Let me tell you about Larry Crowne. Larry Crowne played by Tom Hanks in this movie. You know, he's one of those straight up company, man. You know, started working someplace for so long, he just got Stockholm syndrome because his ass is just happy.
Yeah, he's that guy who's ready and waiting for you at the door of the Walmart to say, "How are you doing today?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome to Walmart.
Yeah. But that's after he started that job saying, fuck, man, this job is bullshit. But you know what? In 3 years or so, I'm going to be out of here. I'm going to be making my record, making my movie. I'm going to write that novel. And, well, about 20 years later, he's just become sort of lobotomized by the job. He's
Well, the thing is, usually,
Yes, sir. Hey, how do you do, everybody?
How do you do this?
But see, that's the thing. Usually, those guys are the ones who are there just angry. They look like trolls. They never smile. I ain't never seen a guy go get baskets and smile. He's the opposite. He's all like, you know what? This is a great company, and I love it here.
Did I tell you this takes place on Bizarre World? Did I tell you about that?
There are people who are like that, and I actually admire those people when you meet them because they're few and far between, and they're making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
They're like, man, obviously I don't want to be working at fucking Walmart, wherever it's
U-Mart, yeah.
You know, I mean, but you know what? It's what I do, and I don't like not being proud of what I do at least. So I'm gonna do the best fucking job I can, no matter what job I'm doing. I really fucking admire that, and you like this guy for doing that. Problem is, the people who run it just don't give a shit. That's always the case about these jobs. It's
Reality sets in. Boy.
They come in and tell you, hey, this is a great company, guys. Come on,
We're like one big family here.
One big family, team spirit. Hey, we got you, unless we got to downsize.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened to poor old Larry Crowne. I mean, they just break this motherfucker's heart.
They break him down.
He's about to get employee of the month or something.
He's assuming he's going to get employee of the month.
Like, hey, Larry, they want to see an office. He's like, guess that's another $100 check. Hey,
it's that time again, guys.
Yeah, you get in there like, Larry, we just having a part in the ways here. We don't need you anymore. And he just breaks down. What? I thought I was going to get employed.
It would have been nicer just to kick him out on his ass onto the street by the way they patronize him.
And he's so amiable and he's so goddamn naive, really, that when they tell him, well, really, it's just because you don't have a college education. He's like, but I went in the Navy. I was in the Navy for 20 years. Like, yeah, but you got to move up to the next level beyond where you are. You'd have to have a college education. We can't bring you there. And the truth of the story is that was self-evident. It's like they're going, who's the guy who makes the most money here, who is in a position that we can get rid of? And that's that guy. Yeah, that was him. No matter what. Yeah, they had a really good excuse to get rid of him. But you know what? He buys that excuse because, like you said, he's naive. He's naive.
Well, what's even worse about it is that half of them they're laughing at him as they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just look at it like, well, that sucks. But it's like, man, laughing at the dude. It's like, you guys do know he's a white guy who was in the military. I mean, you're begging him to come back and shoot this place up.
Know, right?
And you sell guns at this store.
And trench coats.
Yeah, exactly.
And trench coats,
he tells me, like, look, I'm a white dude that served my country. Well, that's not good enough for the country.
Yeah, you served, you worked in the kitchen. I know you were doing a lot of serving, but they were looking for you.
Putting rice on a plate, and you're really doing it for us right here. Are you, for that matter? Now, somebody's got to feed the guys with guns. I'd rather be the guy feeding. Personally, like, I ain't gonna get shot, motherfucker. Have some more potatoes. They kicked this fool out, and they lay him off, and so now he's having to figure out what he's going to do next. And being that he's naive to buy that, oh, you know what, I need more college education, or I just need a college education. He goes and re-enlists. Not even re-enlists. He just enrolls in college.
Is it really a college? Because it's
community college, right?
I guess because it seemed like community college, but it also seemed like some of those special classes, like when you take automotive. What do they call that? Are
you talking about technical school?
Not even technical school. No, it's something that's.
Oh, you mean where they send you those little summer class?
Yeah, those summer class syllabus.
Oh, you can take classes in Tai Chi.
Yeah, Tai Chi,
like ITT Technical Institute or something like that.
Well, a lot of community colleges colleges, those are the ones who sponsor those things.
Yeah.
So they are through a community college.
No, I get that.
Extended learning or something.
Right, and he's taking like a legitimate economics class.
Right, you can take regular community college. You can get your regular degree. Like
Right.
Liberal
It
arts.
seemed more like informal classes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Informal
informal
classes.
classes.
Informal classes.
Because he starts taking a class
Yeah,
on how to
so-
make speeches. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of the curriculum to get your degree, but
That's one of the things about this film that is kind of working against it. Well, there's a lot working against it. I mean, there's a lot of charm here to like, but this movie goes by sitcom humor, goes by sitcom characters, and goes by sitcom logic. And,
Yes.
and to see, and it's kind of confusing because the biggest strength of this film is Tom Hanks as the title character, and Tom Hanks, no matter what, is just a guy that you just can't help but like.
Yeah,
He's a charming guy.
yeah.
He's a charming guy through and through throughout this movie. The only problem is I don't know what the fuck in what point any of this movie had to make. I was like, what exactly is going on? Am I just hanging out with this guy?
Between him and Julia Roberts and so many of the different cast members.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, eventually Julia Roberts and all the other. Yeah, you're right. And, okay, not so much her, but so much of him. There's so much charm and charisma here that there's not really a conflict.
No, there's no conflict. There's no real pressing issue as far as what is it? It's not like he has to do a dance off to save the club from closing or something.
Right.
But
Well,
I mean,
it's weird because it starts out that way. It's like, look, okay, he's out of work. He doesn't have an education. They're gonna foreclose on his house. He's gonna lose everything. But then later, it's like, well, not really.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because the movie, when you think it's a movie about him going back to school, because it could work as a gimmick. I mean, this movie, one of the things I immediately didn't like about it that showed me that the cute factor was going to be kicking in the overload here is that 80s soundtrack they had. Not even an 80s soundtrack from a movie. It's from an 80s PSA. It's like wow. Why is Tom Hanks in this film again? Or is this something they dug up from the 80s? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the majority of the soundtrack is Tom Petty. I mean, Tom Petty's playing out throughout this entire movie.
Well, it starts with an ELO song that has literally been in 3 movies this year already. I was like, wow, what did that just go public domain or something?
Yeah, but he meets a chick, a fellow student played by Roxana Ortega. This girl, Alba.
It's cute as hell.
Yeah, who's beautiful. No,
But let's face it, the most blatant magic negress ever.
I know.
Yeah, and just in a little bit.
I expected her to sparkle.
I know, right?
Yeah, just smile and just sparkles go fly everywhere. I mean, because she a rainbow to fly out of her ass because she's just too bubbly, man. She's way too bubbly. She immediately latches on to him, gloms on to him, takes him out to buy him cool clothes, get him a cool haircut, give him a cool house,
Forces it on him.
Pretty much, she is a magical mystical Negro who's turning him into a hipster.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, in every sense of the word.
Yeah, and turn him into kind of everybody we hate, right down to a fucking scarf. Where everybody's like, hey, and gives him a hipster name, like you're not Larry Crowne anymore. What do they name him?
Lance.
Lance Corona.
Yeah, Lance Corona.
Yes, and gets him a scooter. So it's like,
Well, he gets his own scooter.
Yeah.
It's because he shows up with a scooter that she goes like, "You're my new project."
This guy has potential.
Yeah.
Not as dating, right? Because
Right.
she's already dating that douchebag from Twilight.
Yeah.
No. He's from that '70s show.
Alex-
It's Wilmer
is it?
Valderrama.
Okay, all right.
It's kind of like the movie
Hey,
kind of goes.
Mexican look alike to you?
Thinking about it, the
I'm
movie.
not going to say answer that.
I thought he was co-host, didn't you?
They all look the same when you're shooting at them at a distance at the border.
Well, thinking about it, the movie kind of takes a turn into a Clueless territory, like the movie Clueless territory, where somebody finds this guy and makes him a project. In making him cool, but you're really wondering, okay, this is cool. You're giving the guy some self-esteem, but what does this have to do with what's going on in this movie?
No, and you know what? And it's not offensive. It's cute. I mean,
It is not offensive at all.
Even down to the boyfriend, Alex Quijano. Is that how you say his name? Who is
He's the guy from that '70s show.
It's Wilmer Valderrama.
No, you're talking about Wilder Valderrama.
What's his name?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Wilmer
That's
Valderrama.
him.
Yeah.
That guy, even the boyfriend is cute. He's like, hey man, stay away from my girlfriend, but hey, smile and peace out.
Well, yeah, because he's only 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be a tough guy. I don't care how muscly you are if you still,
You're the same height.
Tom Hanks ain't no small guy. I don't care how sweet he is.
Right.
When you're same height as Speedy Gonzalez, you're not that
You don't want me
threatening.
to go Forrest Gump on your ass.
and your ass happens to be riding a scooter. I'm sorry, that is not tough.
Bryan Cranston plays Julia Roberts, like a no good husband who's written two
Bryan Cranston was
successful
my favorite
novels,
character in the
who's written
whole
two
movie.
successful novels and now is blogging for a living. She's like, blogging. All you do is look at porn. He's like, no, look, I just blogged all this stuff. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, wait, what?
They introduced the romance in the film. Julia Roberts plays this chick named Mercedes. She's one of the professors at whatever kind of fucking crazy college this is. It's a cross between community college, a real college. You know,
ain't no real college mixing this. It's community college and it's informal classes.
And an elementary school. I mean, it's pretty much you could just major in fucking damn foolery if you want.
Yeah, I know. It's clown. It's clown college. That's what it is. It's clown college.
Now,
right?
you ladies out there, you know how much you love to watch Julia Roberts movies because she's so sweet and quirky and funny, and she's willing to get out there and laugh and trip and make you just love her. Well, here you get more of that, except she's a drunk, angry bitch.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
of the film.
Yeah.
She is.
More than
that.
He meets her in a classroom, and she's
his teacher.
She's his teacher.
Saw you singing.
Oh, I'm just drowning out the GPS.
Please enter
See? It never stops.
Well, no wonder. That's a map genie. Back when I sold you such things, I would have steered you toward a vortex, because the map genie it's very complicated. Well, no wonder the auto on feature is engaged. So, menu, select, features, auto, voice select, change, yes, on, off, change, yes, save, and back, and exit. Oh. How long was that broken?
Ever since my husband installed it himself.
Oh, it's all fixed now.
Thank you.
What are you going to make us do today in class,
You'll just have to find out.
Follow me.
Interesting.
And you could tell where the romance is going to start, but to really make that romance happen, they got to show you that, oh, well, since she's married, she has to have a reason to leave her husband. And I like Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts her characters has always made her seem like a frigid bitch in almost every movie I've seen her in. Like, she's a hot woman who I can't see as hot because she seems pissed in everything she's in. In this movie, they got to give her a reason to break up with Bryan Cranston, her husband. And to do that, they got to just make her a harpy. She comes in and just is mad because she's like, I caught you watching porn. And he's like, well, I'm a guy and I sit at home all day on the computer. Yeah, I'm going to fucking watch porn at some point. She's like, well, you should just be open with me. I'm open with you, but it's like, oh, god damn it.
They really give you no reason as to why really she is that much of a bitch in this movie. I mean, there's no reasoning behind it at all.
Assumed that she's unhappy because her husband is useless in her point of view, and the whole film is being sold to an older generation of woman, no question. I don't understand this whole like working from home internet thing. Anyway,
Right.
It just seems like laziness.
Yeah, you just sit around procrastinating all day. And I'm like, look, if that was a reason for divorce, the divorce rate would be 85%, 55%.
But, so they never really say on that. And then when she does, like, suddenly say, you know what, that's it, and for not a good enough reason. I mean, he fucks up and says something when he's drunk that he shouldn't. But then again, she's
a very funny part in the movie.
She's constantly saying really shitty stuff to him
all the time.
All the time. So I'm like, really? Is that enough? But then, like, 2 seconds later is the first time we see her smile in the entire film.
Oh yeah,
and like, honestly, it's not fair. It's like when she and Tom Hanks were born, they were rolling their characters. They put all their points into charisma, and there's no defense against when the first time you see Julia Roberts smile in a film. Even though it makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
From then on, suddenly she's a totally different character.
It seemed like there was a major script change all of a sudden because it made no sense. It's like, wait, there's a point where Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts interact. Where a scene before, it's like I was never under the impression that she was drunk until like she had the scooter ride, which I don't know if scooter rides just make you fucking drunk, but there's a scene after where she is like about to fall over drunk.
Oh, you didn't? I caught that early on from like
I didn't. Only because maybe it was because she was being such a bitch.
She was kind of
early on. The way she comes home and how much alcohol she would mix up and just drink, and even like during the fight, when Bryan Cranston calls her Boozilla, because I was like, because everything I saw before that and him saying that is like, this is a chick who is an alcoholic, and if you were to call her an alcoholic, she'd probably get pissed and call you all kinds of motherfucking bitches, but it's still true. She's
caught me off
miserable,
guard.
unangry.
I kind of caught that too, that she was like heavy drinker and whatnot. I thought it was cool they didn't like make it overt and heavy, but I still I didn't like her character that much, and it didn't give me a reason enough to why she would just be. I know her and her husband had some history, but it just seemed so convenient to like have her latch on to Tom Hanks' character so hard, in this film. And it seemed like, this is just an easy excuse to have this couple be a fighting couple, so that they could like make this romance happen.
Well, I thought it was just weird how they the whole thing is to make you root for the two of them to be together, and all I could see was like, wow, they're making you root for her to break the marriage with her husband. And she's a horrible person.
Made me nervous for Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but that's what I kept thinking too. It's like, wow,
there's no reason for it.
We really like Tom Hanks at this point, and everybody's they're trying to make you root for him to make a really bad life decision.
The worst thing is that there was absolutely, and I'm talking absolutely no buildup. So I was like, I didn't even know that these two were into each other at all.
Tell him you better get on a little hipster scooter and ride away from this.
Despite the general directionlessness of the film, I actually probably would have really liked this at a certain level if they had gotten rid of the whole Bryan Cranston character, because, like I said, he serves no purpose for what they want to do. If they'd made Julia Roberts just single, but basically not that happy with her job and her students, and kind of given it more like she found more meaning in her job as she slowly started to build an understanding of Tom Hanks' character. There was no need to make her an ugly, bitter, nasty person, and it really damages the film in such a significant fashion.
Well, I just think that there's a movie with likable characters living in a very sitcom world that's somehow transported to a film. I mean, because I like all the side characters in here. Some of the cameos we have are supporting characters like Cedric the Entertainer, who is usually over the top. I thought he was good here as
he's a little over the top.
He's a little over the top.
Maybe I just like him better than most movies because he just wasn't.
He wasn't as bad as he is most of the time.
Yeah,
he's a little over the top.
Film, I mean, I liked him as him and Taraji P. Henson are the neighbors, and they've befriended him. Even
they're the Cramdens.
They're the black neighbors every white person really wish they had, as opposed to their real ones where they're like, they're fighting again.
They're the B team. So you got your A-list magical Negro and the little girl, and they're the B team.
Actually, I think that every black neighbor that white people would fear because they got a little bit of Jew in them, at least in a racist point of view, because they sell. They have money because they want to. I won't tell you how, but they have money.
Pick your words carefully, Mel Gibson.
No. I'll tell you why. Because they have, and I say from a racist point of view, because they have money in the movie. I'm not going to tell you how they got it, but yet they continue to have these yard sales where they haggle people down. Try to sell this junk for more than it should be.
Practically, Tom Hanks was living next door to Sanford and Son. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, the entire house is for sale. Everything on that lot. I mean, I was like, wow.
We got Jews disguised as black next door.
I was like, wow, you got. I mean, it's like all this shit from the garage all the way down to the front yard was all for sale.
Felt like it should have originally been that guy from SCTV who was in the American Pie movies. What's his name?
Oh, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, Eugene Levy should have been playing that role.
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Well, this is Eugene Levy in blackface. But, Pam Grier has a small cameo here, but
barely.
But really, her character serves no purpose at all, except to be. And that's what I'm talking about. Some of these supporting characters you like, some of them are supposed to be like, hey, I'm the side supporting character that you're supposed to exchange dialogue with. So you can explain more of the plot. That's the kind of world this is. These classrooms in this movie. Do you ever see in sitcoms where there's a classroom and they don't ever tell you what the fuck that class is about? It's just a reason to have a classroom full of misfits for comedy.
With that.
Yeah. I really find this amazing that this is written and directed by Tom Hanks, because
Me too.
Was this his first film?
No. He did that thing you did.
Oh, that was him too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was far superior.
The one exception I will say, as far as with the comedy that I thought did work, was George Takei.
Thank you. I was going to say, like George Takei, he stole every scene he was in.
He did. The moment he gets on screen, just the look, his whole presence it's just fascinating and hilarious. I wanted more of him in the. I mean, honestly, it should have been Tom Hanks getting together with George Takei, because I would have believed that more than anything.
Funny, man.
They had more chemistry than fucking him and Julia Roberts.
George Takei, he's the professor in his economics class, and you know how George Takei talks.
Of course,
it is like
he talks like this.
Please, Mr. Hank, your phone.
But all his Takeiisms, he milked it, but didn't his character was outrageous, but not over the top. stop, not to the point where you go like, this is just such a cartoon.
Well,
I can't even enjoy
there was one point
it.
where it does that George K. laugh.
But the thing was, it wasn't like he was just doing it. It's like it was his character actually using that to fuck with the classroom.
Yeah.
No, he's great. I'm waiting.
He was great.
Shit, it
made me go
movie, man.
Yeah, it made me go. Yeah, where's the George Takei or where's the George Takei sitcom where he is teaching class?
Yeah.
I would watch that I would watch 10 seasons of that.
Fuck Zulu, man. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Professor Takei.
Exactly.
They need to put him on the next season of Community. Clearly, maybe this was an audition for that.
And I was just, but God damn it, I wish you didn't mention that. Only because I was like, there is a version of this that's a whole lot better that I love. It's called Community.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you're right. This is we do have a sitcom of this show.
This is Community, super light.
Yeah, it's the Lifetime Channel's version of Community.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what it was.
Well, I mean, it's Tom Hanks, so he's got this guy can call in favors. You talk about charisma, and he calls up and says like, "Hey, I want you to be in my movie." Julia Roberts probably worked for scale. He just got all this going. I mean,
I'd be honored to be in your movie, Tom.
He's a competent director, but he just doesn't have much in the way of range or reach. I mean, this is just the kind of thing he likes to do. It's like, it's the difference between this and something like The Terminal, where Spielberg directed it, and even though that was like one of these movies, like, I'm not gonna like this, and I fell in love with it. And this is one of those where it's like, well, I see what you're going for, and it's nice and all, but I'm not going to remember it.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Don't fit together. It just there's nothing to remember about it. Really, it's so utterly okay. So that happened,
right?
Like I'm looking at stuff that he's directed. I mean, the guy's directed enough. Maybe it's because he's directed so much TV. I mean, you probably
that's what happens.
He's directed a lot of things. He directed. There was a League of Their Own TV show. He directed episode from. He directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, that's true.
Vault of Horror. He directed, and Band of Brothers, and From Earth to the Moon. Yeah. He's directed a lot of TV. Yeah. So maybe. And I don't know, I'm looking at
maybe he directed something from Bosom Buddies. I hope. That show's hilarious.
The problem doesn't seem to be the direction here, though. Really, the problem is the writing from the get-go. It's not very good, and certain actors bring the most out of it. But honestly, if this film didn't have Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts, who bring a lot usually to whatever they do, then it would be an absolute piece of shit, in my opinion. Well, it would be really like, wow, who the fuck thought that was worth?
Well, you remember you look at the writing here, and the writing does nothing for the chemistry that they had in Charlie Wilson's War.
Right.
They were in that together. And you're like, wow, man, okay, what?
Well, that's a spectacular film.
Yeah, and I'm expecting it to see maybe that same spark here, and it's just not. And again, Tom Hanks wrote That Thing You Do, so and I really like that.
I love that movie.
Yeah, a lot. And I just don't know what happened between that and here. Again, maybe it's just he just wanted to make a simple, sweet film and it became.
Well, it's weird because this has all the earmarks of what is normally one of those kind of indie movies that's a slice of life, kind of like Win-Win or Station Agent or even Everything Must Go.
It's going to do something interesting.
Yeah. Except it's missing the part where you have, not famous actors, but it does something really interesting.
Like an interesting arc or something going on.
Or just something you don't expect, something out of the ordinary, and it's missing that.
Yeah, I like I said, I like the characters in this movie. They are very sweet characters. They're likable. I didn't have a bad time watching the movie. We genuinely had some good laughs in here.
Oh, absolutely.
And the movie picks up in humor as it goes along. So it's if you give it a little time, it becomes funnier. But like I said, it's up to that. I don't feel like I need to watch it in a theater.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I felt like I need to rush out and see this. I highly recommend this as a Netflix viewing or as as a rental.
Add that to the
I know, right?
Not until they start paying.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say,
Shit, nothing but no
where's my Netflix check?
If they start paying us, every movie's going to be Netflix.
Exactly. Netflix all the way.
Blew my socks off, and in 3D, and it's giant, it's big.
Yeah.
And yet, you should still watch it on Netflix.
You need to watch fucking Transformers 3 on Netflix now.
Get a 3D TV and make it your fucking wall and put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's best if you pay for the full deal. I can't say for sure, but I think they upgraded a little bit.
Yeah. No, I give it a rental. Yeah, good rental.
It is one of those where I'm like, quality wise, I would say a low matinee, except because nothing big happens in it. It's so much better as a rental. I mean, it is. You'll see it. You might rent it, go like, oh, Tom Hanks, how'd I miss this? And watch it on TV and go like, oh, that was cute. I didn't know what to expect from it. But just the effort of going to the theater makes you expect more than what it's going to deliver on.
Yeah, it's generally amiable. It's so milquetoast. It's just like
Did you say milk a toast?
Yeah, milk a toast. Milk a toast.
Cyrus, you have to hold your pinky up when you use that
sorry.
word.
Oh.
Yeah.
I already heard.
Now we get
I'll
it.
buy you a dictionary for your
No, I've
favorite.
always heard it as milk toast.
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yeah.
I want to make no. I just thought like I want to milk a toast. You know,
Well, it's like
Wow,
you
you will look for boobs on the internet.
yeah, I will.
But I didn't like it that much. I didn't like it as much as you guys did. I thought that most of it wasn't funny. I thought some of it was just downright kind of pissing me off in the first half with Julia Roberts and her husband. I was like, this is just irritating to watch. The only character who consistently liked throughout it was Tom Hanks, who they had written so inoffensive. There was no way not to at least go, oh, that guy's all right. Don't give him a hard time. There's just nothing really special here, but I give it a rating of rental based almost in the translation of star rating. It's like a 2-star movie.
Yeah.
George Takei here, and I will give it some old bullshit.
I give you a full price. Guys.
Yeah, sorry.
In the Navy, I went around the world 5 times, but I would never be able to communicate it to you unless I had taken a class like this.
You work here.
It's my secret identity.
Spectacular. Would you like to kiss me? You are so cute. I can see you.